Now, these people are our people. What would be your message to them? Speak to them because you understand what we are talking about.
My message would be is my message to the global majority. You are the global majority. You have been everywhere. You brought you are the cradle of civilization. You've brought civilization to the world. Now it is time to wake up and really begin to walk into who you are and whose you are. God did not make you to sit at the foot, to be up under, to be trampled on. Do not blindly give up your continent or your rights to your continent or your rights to the riches that you have, the resources that you have. Do not give up those rights for someone to tell you that what you have is not good enough and what they have is better for you. Don't believe it. You cannot put the whole of Africa into any continent or any country on the face of this earth. You know that you are being lied to, that you are being disenfranchised one from the other. Do not allow yourself to be conquered or to be divided by simply the promise of $1, the promise of some money, the promise of a better way of life. You have the better way of life. That is why the colonizers, they're not coming as a colonizer with chains and with guns. They're coming in with a happy face and I'm going to help you and with money. And you're thinking that that is helping you. But look around, really look around. Are you able to enjoy? Are you able to use? Or are you being slowly moved out of your own homes? Do not believe what is being told to you. Wake up. The sleeping giant of Africa must wake up.
Thank you so much for that. That message must go home. All right. Now, there is a thought that I was having. It is like this. Is it possible that the African diaspora can play a role in the reawakening of Africa itself? And this is why I'm thinking like this. Because in Africa, the European came and they told us a certain story, both about them and about us. And for some reasons, that story became our reality. Many people in Africa do not know how Europe or Europeans really act, how they function, and how they think, how they live, and how they treat Africa in the real sense of the word. So let's say now, these people, Africans, who are now in the European territory, living among them, be subjected to racism and all form of inhuman treatment. Not all of them, I must specify that. Say they now realize what is happening. Do you think they have any role to play in trying to transmit to Mother Africa that indeed this is the reality between us and the European? Do you think it can be any way reasonable or make any sense? Do you think that the Africans, many Africans have walked into Europe and the Western world can make any sense in the reawakening or in the retelling of the African story?
Yes. Oh, definitely. Definitely. When you have to understand history. History is his story. And then your story becomes a mystery. And what you do is this: speak up. Speak up and speak out and do not be afraid. Because to tell your story, to tell the true stories. We have podcasts, We have video. You've got social media, influencers. You have all those ways to put that story out there. You've got filmmakers. You have that. And you're doing that. Begin to tell the true stories. The true stories. And what you have is in many cultures, what you will see is there are many people out there who will be very, very friendly to you telling that, because guess what? Your story that you're telling out of Africa is their same story. Right now, you think Ukrainian people aren't having the same story? They're having the same story. You think Jewish people don't have the same story? They telling that story again and again and again. They tell that story of the Holocaust and what happens. They play that movie every single year. And they tell that story again, 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 again. They don't stop telling the stories so that people know, and nobody can tell them, oh, that didn't happen. They tried to do that, here in the United States and tell the people, oh, no, Hitler didn't kill 6 million Jews. What are you talking about? That never happened. And those people, they rose up like a rage of angels. That's what Africa has to do. Rise up like a rage of angels, use these type of platforms and make it your business. Make it your business. Make it a 10-year plan. In 10 years, you know the stories that you want to have told. You know the truths that you want to know. You know the people you want to know. Set a 10-year goal. And that means, okay, myself, my podcast, other people who I know who are podcasting or doing social media or have filmmakers, that we're going to start telling these stories and just flood the market. And what you'll see is pretty soon, that's all the stories there'll be. There won't be anything else, because why? We are the global majority, the most on this globe. You look around you. How many different continents with people of color on them? Every continent on the face of this earth. And the majority of those people, when you see people of color, we're everywhere. Because why? This is where we went. This is who we are. Everyone has tried to buy into this. I'm a part of this white culture or that white community, the Caucasian community. No, you're not. That community is very small in Europe, very, very small, that came out of those Caucasus Mountains.
All right. So it means that after all, this is a game that is sometimes naturally be arranged itself or somehow artificially be set up. That the fact that a lot of Africans are leaving their continent, of course, not the majority of Africans that are leaving the continent, no, that have to be very clarified. I left Nigeria in 2004. The population of Nigeria was barely 120 million. Today, we have crossed 200 million. So there is no lack of people at home to start with. But the point is that all of us now must be saying the same thing. We must be having a clear objective. We must be telling the story. And I think there is power in this storytelling. In that wherever we are, we must because I think, let me share this story with you. I was in JSS 2. There was a small history lesson. This teacher that was teaching history sort of touched the story of slavery. Then he showed us a picture, and this picture looked like sardine. It was several lines of Africans that were lined up, tie, hand, and feet. They will be transported to the new world, as they will call it. But I am just a child now. I can't understand. I can't even fathom it. I don't understand it. How is it that a human being can do this to another human being? And I am being told now that these are done by the European. And these are the same people we look upon as people that are better than us. So that is confusing for me. Then I said, if I have the chance, I want to understand these people. How do they reason? So this is one of the reasons, apart from many other reasons, why also I am here. Now, since I'll be here, I'll be doing a lot of study. Just the way that I'm talking to you, this is how I do it. I just want to understand the story, what is going on. So I believe that the Africans that are in the diaspora have a responsibility to tell the story.